Mark Rogers, TV, back with you to talk college football as we head to the SEC in Lexington, Kentucky, to talk about those Cats with Kevin McGuffey from Last Word on College Football. Kevin, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Mark. Thank you for having me on again. I really appreciate it. Always good to talk to you.
So we were talking about the Cats spring practice and a lot involving Kentucky football. So we've got a full slate for you. We're going to put you to work. There's plenty to talk about here. So let's start with spring practice. Everything culminates with the spring game this Friday night on the SEC Network. But before we get to what you would like to see this Friday night, in regards to what's happened over the 15 sessions under Mark Stoops, your thoughts about what's been accomplished and what's been the storylines?
Well, from all accounts, they've had a really good spring camp. One of the biggest things has been working on the defense. They have new coordinators. Matt House, who was former linebackers coach, is now defensive coordinator. There's been a noticeable improvement, from the coaching staff on that area. In fact, the scrimmage on Saturday, I think the defense soundly whipped the offense, which didn't, obviously, Stoops was happy being a defensive guy, but coordinators Eddie Grand and Darren Henshaw were not happy. So probably that's been the biggest thing. And then on offense, Steven Johnson is still the man at quarterback. One thing that has come up, Drew Barker, who played the first two games, part of the third game last season, missed the entire season, the rest of the season, had back surgery, has been back, has been playing. He's just doing reps. He's not doing any contact, but he's been and the coaches have been really, really impressed with him, so much so that they thought about actually playing him on Friday night, getting him a few reps, but they decided against it and hold him back to the till the fall camp starts. So those are two of the big things. And then another issue is not really an issue, but finding somebody to go with Benny Snell. Last year the Cats had the Boom and Benny show, and now Boom Williams has moved on. He gave up his last year of eligibility and has applied for the draft. So they're trying to find somebody to fill in who's going to be that guy to give Benny Snell a break. And Siam King appears to be that guy right now. He's looked very good in practice. Coach has been very impressed with him. And then another name to throw out there is Lynn Bowden. He's Kentucky's top incoming player for 2017 out of Ohio. They see him as like a Randall Cobb kind of player. I mean, hopefully he'll, if he turns out to be anywhere like Randall Cobb, that's going to be nothing but great for the Cats. But he can play quarterback, running back, and wide receiver. They expect to maybe use him in the Wildcat some. And those are probably the biggest things. Like I said, the game is Friday night on the SEC Network. I think it's kind of cool, basically, where Kentucky will be the only game going on Friday night. Everybody else has either had their games last weekend or, coming up on Saturday. So anybody that wants to see it will have pretty much undivided attention.
So you brought up a good point, Kevin, because everyone needs to keep this in mind when they're watching their team play. Their team is that it's the nature of sports, not just football, that somebody's got to look bad. So either the offense is going to look bad or the defense is going to look bad or some unit's going to look bad, regardless of whether they're really good and just playing maybe just a better unit that particular night. So that needs to be put in perspective. Now, in regards to what you would like to see out of the Cats on Friday night, what would make you feel better about this football team heading into 2017 after watching them on Friday night?
I think the biggest thing, it's going to the way they're going to have it set up is going to be first team against first team offense against, I think, second string defense, and then second string offense against first string defense. I think they're just looking. You just want to see improvement. The Cats made just vast, great strides last season, getting to that first bowl game in 5 years. I think now it's just, consistency. They want to see, Steven Johnson, can he hit that long ball consistently? Can he hit the routes? Can the receivers run the routes consistently? They've had trouble with drop balls with receivers, in past years, just simple things like that, that seem simple, but that can mean the difference, winning and losing. And on defense, I think the defense is going to be, especially the linebacking core, is going to be one of the best. I don't want to say one of the best in the SEC, but they're going to be really good. And I think It's just consistency. Eddie Grant, I think, in one of the press conferences this week said, all we're looking for is just 100% efficiency on every play, which of course is not going to happen. But, if you did, then you'd have nothing else to improve on. But I think it's just consistency. They're just working, getting better, through these 15 practices and, kind of coming out on Friday night and just maybe having a little fun.